Aloha, everyone. I'm Pete Gumataotao, the director of the Daniel K. Inouye Asia Pacific Center for Security Studies. Welcome to the Maritime Security Challenges Conference 2022. Let me start by first thanking the Navy League of Canada and the Royal Canadian Navy, and especially Vice Admiral Angus Topshee, for putting together this exceptional conference. I also like to extend a warm aloha to the distinguished guests, as well as all of our APCSS alumni and former faculty attending this Maritime Security Conference. I'm really happy to report to all of you that our center is back up in full operation. In calendar year 2022 alone, we've conducted all of our planned executive in-resident courses to include our new premier in-resident executive course titled the Comprehensive Security Cooperation Course, or in short, CSC. And in this iteration, CSC22-3, we just completed that course this week, in fact, and had over 100 fellows from over 34 countries, 52 organizations, not just from the Indo-Pacific, but also from around the world. My team and I have also been traveling abroad from Japan, Nepal, Mongolia, Thailand, Laos, Indonesia, Republic of Korea, United Kingdom, as well as now in Canada, where we have Commander Steve Bowers, one of our fellows, Coast Guard fellows here at APCSS, attending the conference. You can see that we've gone out to the region. People are hungry to get together again, so it's really good to see folks meet at the Maritime Security Conference this year by doing this virtually. We've noticed from going around and also bringing folks here, fellows here, that there's a common thread in the discourse, in the dialogue. Thoughts and concerns continue to surface and is centered on the term strategic competition, or also referred to by many as the great power competition. There are questions that come up in my interaction with folks with how would this eventually play out in the region, and how are the rules and norms being influenced in the South China Sea or even in Oceania and around the world? Or how do countries in the region navigate and adapt to this complex and dynamic environment? And even questions regarding regional institutions and security architectures, and even countries that are outside the region, and what's their role and play in it? Well, let me ask you this, as you sit there in the conference and you do have these discussions, when you hear the term great power competition or strategic competition, how do you frame that context? Does your reference point automatically shift to confrontation or conflict? I would offer that for the United States, it means being consistent and not wanting that competition to veer into conflict. As part of our efforts to responsibly navigate through many situations that have been exacerbated by strategic competition, especially in the maritime domain, the United States continues to look for ways, working with allies and partners, to reduce misunderstandings and the risk of miscalculation. For example, allied and partnered ships and aircraft have been faced with increasingly unprofessional behavior from the PRC, who have conducted unsafe maneuvers near Allied patrols. Working together with mutually understood and agreed upon rules of the road can help create a safer maritime commons. In my travels abroad, many ask not to put their countries in the unenviable position to choose between the United States and China. I say to them, and I offer to you, that the US, as well as many like-minded countries, choose stability, peace, and prosperity, where all countries, including China, should be working to advance an international system that is free, stable, and open, respects the sovereignty of nations, and is open to trade. Our U.S. Secretary of Defense Austin, as well as other U.S. leaders, have talked about the importance of integrated deterrence, leveraging all national elements of power to support this vision of a free and open Indo-Pacific. Integral to the success of this effort is the continuing collaboration and cooperation between allies and partners to build the way we operate at sea during peacetime, and in the event conflict arises, how do we work together to promote security throughout the region? I believe it's important that in conferences like the ones you are participating today, that this not only becomes a highlight to talk just about challenges, but also spend more time looking for opportunities and initiatives that are occurring around the region and globally today. For example, the ASEAN Defense Ministers meeting expert working group, ADMM plus EWG on maritime security, which was recently held in Honolulu in August at our center, brought together leaders and subject matter experts to discuss shared solutions. During the discussions, the participants pursued practical cooperative measures that address maritime security challenges. Another example of the U.S.'s renewed commitment in the region is the recent U.S. Pacific Islands Leaders Summit in Washington, D.C. There, it was clear demonstration of unity, of working to foster and endure partnerships with the Pacific Island countries and the Pacific region. For in that cooperation underpins what we have always known, our shared history, values, and people-to-people ties that are so important and so enduring. Coming out of that summit is the new Pacific strategy developed by Pacific leaders, which reflects our broadening and deepening cooperation on key issues such as climate change, pandemic response, economic recovery, maritime security, of course, environmental protection, and advancing a free and open Indo-Pacific. The 2050 strategy for a Blue Pacific continent not only addresses strategic competition, but nested within it is their security political priorities going forward to preserve their interests and equities. So let me close by emphasizing that challenges will always persist in this complex maritime domain that many of you attending this conference know all too well. The answer then and now is about working together through cooperation and collaboration by all who have a vested interest in keeping our sea lines of communication open and accessible to promoting a free trade and prosperity. But you know, there's a saying in the United States, what got us here won't get us there, especially through the complex challenges we face today. I hope in the discussions you all have that you turn to innovative ideas, things that are beyond your comfort level and even your bias. To be courageous and bold and open to ideas that can get us to preserving this free and open Indo-Pacific vision. And at the same time, taking advantage of new opportunities that it is made possible as a result of the pressurized environment that we live in today. We must look at it not just from a mill-to-mill perspective, but taking it, as indicated in the integrated deterrence, from a whole of government, dare I say even expanded, a whole of society approach. I truly believe there are many areas for mutual cooperation that can bring countries together to find much needed mutual solutions in building partner capacity, such as in disaster response, or IUUs, or counter narcotics, CT, climate change, and much more. I ask that you think about how we can turn these challenges into opportunities for cooperation that will lead to prosperity for many countries in the region, for all countries in the region. This Maritime Security Conference is an excellent venue where countries and organizations can come together, share perspectives transparently, respectfully, and inclusively, and listen in order to find mutual areas for collaboration and cooperation. So mahalo nui loa for the opportunity to say a few words up front. I wish you all well during this conference and hope to see you either in Hawaii or during one of my trips out in the region. Aloha.